Hi everybody, welcome back. On this video here, we're going to be learning how to use arrays and what they really are. Now, on the last video, we talked about variables, and variables are useful to an extent, but then sometimes you want multiple values inside of functions, inside your script, and you need to use something a little more powerful. So that's what we're going to be learning here. So I'm going to go to my folder that I have in desktop called JavaScript, and I'm going to open my code editor. Actually, that's my terminal. Sorry about that. Open my code editor and I'm going to drag the blank.html. All right, that's going to be provided in the exercise files. And I'm going to do a save as on here. And when I do this, it's just I'm pressing the command Shift S or Control Shift S for Windows. And I'm doing a save as. And I'm going to call this arrays. When you don't see me doing things and you see things popping in front of you, that's because I'm using my keyboard shortcuts. All right, I'm gonna try to always tell you what I'm using, but it should be easy. To refresh is command Control Shift R for Windows, and to save Control S Shift to save as, or Control S to save. For Mac, you just use the command instead of the control. All right. So now that we have this, let's open this up in the browser. So actually I have a browser window somewhere here. There we go. And I can just go ahead and I'm gonna right click on it and open in the browser. I can just always also double click and open it. All right. There are many ways of opening that document. So now that document is opened here, I can just write something there, make sure that I'm there. I am. So let's start writing some JavaScript. And I'm going to open a script tag and I'm ready. We are ready, right? If you're following me, we are. So now we spoke last time that a variable, you define it using the word var, and then you write the name of the variable. Well, arrays are very similar. As a matter of fact, in an array, you use a variable. All right. So let's say we use something array name. All right. So I'm just making this name up, by the way. It's not a reserved name. And here to this variable, I'm going to convert this into an array because that's what it's doing. This is a variable, but I'm going to be converting it to an array. So I'm going to type new and then array, and that is going to make this an array. All right, and then we call this every time we want to use this array, we use this name here. All right, so I'm going to put different values in here. And each of these values are going to be divided by commas. That's how JavaScript knows that it's supposed to divide these values, all right, by commas. All right. So now that we have that, we just go ahead and make a function, right? For example, just to display the data, and we write an array name, right? Oops, I wrote it outside the parentheses there. Make sure that you are inside. Well, if you refresh it, you get the whole array right in your screen. You see all the values in there? So you get all these values in there. Now, you don't want to be using all the values of an array. Basically, an array is just to hold multiple values. Doesn't mean that you want to go ahead and use all the values all at once, right? So what you want to do is you want to reference each of these values. And the way you do that, let's say, for example, you want to use the value that's right here in the number 1, right? You use something called index. And index is just the name for the position that this value is on right now. Then the position that this value is on is a 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, they all go counting up from 0. So if I want to use this value here, I write the name of the variable or the array, brackets, not the parentheses, just brackets, and I'm going to put 0 because this is number 1 here, number 0. Array starts at 0. In programming languages, arrays, they start at 0. In most programming languages, I don't know, I haven't encountered one yet that uses 1, but there might be. And let's go here and refresh. And as you can see here, I'm using the value 1, 0, in the position 0. All right. And if you want to reference the next value over, we can go ahead and just type that 1 in there. Refresh, we get 1, and then we get the next one. All right, because this function is just alerting stuff in the screen. Now you can hold multiple values. When I say multiple values, I meant it. you can write something else in here. If you want to write a string, you use apostrophes, and you can use the double quotes or the single quotes. All right. So I want to write saying something hello. I'm going to refresh. I'm going to get a number first, and then I click it again. I get the value in the second uh, position, which is number 1, because it starts at 0. Remember that. All right. And like a variable, you can hold many different informations in there. Whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Divs, lists, other arrays, other functions. You can hold anything you like into arrays. All right. And then just like variables, you can play around with the names and use different names if you want. All right. So this is what an array is, and usually you use an array to kind of do things with its value. So let's say you use an array mostly on loops, and we're going to be talking about loops later on, but I don't want to go overboard and confuse you with other things right now. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.